What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Jump. Guys, I really want to talk about what's going on with Deshaun Watson right now. And I can't prove it, and I've talked to Brother George Macon about this. But Deshaun Watson wants to get away from the perennial destruction of the Houston Texans. Okay. Every since the last two seasons, they're poorly managed. The owner, Bob McNair, passed away in the last 2 to 3 years. So the family is running the team. There's just been a lot of problems with the organization. Key players have wanted to get out of there. J.J. Watt's been the last one. Hopkins left, going to Arizona. And Deshaun Watson has publicly stated that he wants nothing to do with the Texans, okay? Strangely enough, as soon as he says he doesn't want to play for the Texans, and the Texans say they don't want to trade him, you get all of these women coming out with this problem with with Deshaun Watson, accusing him of all of these allegations, okay? Now, at first it seemed like, it's just, some clout chasing. But then you have all these other ladies who are seeing it. And there's so many ladies that Nike suspends their deal with Deshaun Watson because of this sexual misconduct. All right? Now, I want to tie this into another community that gets a lot of problems or shame here on Black YouTube, and that is the traveling black men. We call them the passport bros. Brothers like Black Men's Travels, Aaron Ferris's group, brothers like Edie and Cole. And when we say traveling brothers, we're typically talking about guys who are either in Colombia, the DR, or Brazil. It's really those guys. I mean, they're guys overseas, but like myself, I'm a guy who's been living overseas for 5 years, but I don't think anybody would ever call me a traveling bro or a passport bro. But needless to say, there's been some criticism of that community. I've criticized some of them myself because I know there is some problems that go along with them. And people take it as if I'm hating. I'm not. I criticize a lot of folks. But I think the passport brothers are on to something that a lot of guys are not. And guys who live overseas understand this, then most of them don't. Okay? And that is, women in the United States, whether it's true or false, let's just say for these allegations are not true. If it's true, then obviously he deserves what he gets. If it is false, then what happens is he's just had an endorsement deal worth money he's worked hard for, suspended. Okay? Suspended. Apple Beats by Dre has also terminated its deal. So those deals could be worth millions of dollars. He no longer has those at all. Okay? Here's the skinny on this. America is the country. One of the countries you can lose everything, a lot of wealth, where nobody can prove what you're talking about just if they say they do it. A lot of guys who have the money or have the opportunity to get out of America and understand that are going to use this as ammunition to be like, I'm going to try my luck somewhere else. I'm going to tell them something. They're right. Okay? They're absolutely 100% right. Because see, a lot of guys who want to stay inside of the system that's going to come at you like this, you'd almost have to be stupid. You'd have to, because if you're not going to actively try to change laws or to provide proof or more receipts or things that protect your rights as men, but yet you want to, let's say, shame other guys that want to live a life where those problems are not there, I would have a problem with that. Now, I mean, there are a great many guys that are the passport guys who are over there not doing anything with themselves, and and kick in with prostitutes and stuff like that. I get it, right? I would say, if I could estimate, probably 60 or 70% of those guys are not doing any better than we're doing in the States, if not worse. In my honest opinion, from those I've met. And from those I've met, and they've told me stories of guys they've met. Here's what they're not worrying about. Somebody talking about them doing false allegations, losing endorsements. And see, here's the situation. Again, as black men, we need to be able to be in positions where people just cannot give us stuff and yank it from us. Like T.I.'s, his reality show was yanked from VH1. All that somebody has to do is, say that you did this and say that you did that, and then it's not yours anymore. See, that's something that needs to work out too. Okay? So you have a lot of problems here. Women can say you did something, doesn't have to be true, but in the public opinion, you're already crucified, you're done. Now, I want to talk about somebody else, like Ben Roethlisberger. Now, it's funny. Ben Roethlisberger has been accused of doing worse things. Nothing's ever happened to him. I don't know if he ever lost any endorsement deals. He could have, but it was swept under the rug almost entirely. Black men that are making any sort of money and are trying to stand up for themselves and don't want to go with the status quo, like don't want to play for the Texans, an organization that's going absolutely nowhere, miraculously are going to have these issues. See, and I think that the alternatives have to be, I'm going to take my money and start doing some international business so that my stuff isn't affected. I'm going to change the laws and do something in the States and lobby people for my issues. Or I'm going to have to do something. See, black men cannot sit around and not do anything anymore. See, that's the issue. When you don't do anything, then this happens. And as much as you can make, they can take it. Say you did something and it's gone. Like, you have no protection. The only way you can protect yourself in America is to not sleep with women. You cannot be a player in the States if you have the kind of money Deshaun Watson has. You cannot. Like, that kind of money you're targeted. Now, granted, the guys that I'm talking about that are going overseas, they don't have Deshaun Watson money, but I think what they see is that it's going to be a trickle-down effect. So, it's Deshaun Watson now. It's the higher guys now. Then the next is you. Then it's the middle class guys. So I think this is where this is going. Okay? I think that black men have to really look at really developing systems and economies that are that are very much independent of the United States. You're gonna have to look at that because you're gonna have to be in an industry where people just basically can't yank things from you. Me included. I'm no different. So, I think this is where we're at right now, brothers. And I think that we really have to, really look at, are we going to fight these things? If we're not, are you going to relocate? Look at relocating? Because it's just going to get worse. She said you did it. You need to have proof that you did it. Or else in the court of public opinion, you're done. And if you have any associations, people are not going to deal with you. You have no way to prove that you're telling the truth. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first comment to the top. Check out the Black Men Per t-shirts. Check out the Patreon, all pinned to the first comment pinned to the top. I'm out.